Man, what is happening, my YouTube family? Of course, it is your boy B New. I'm coming at you on this Wednesday. And first and foremost, as always, want to send out positive vibrations and blessings to anybody who could be listening. Now, with all that being said, we all know that the Los Angeles Lakers were in action on, Monday night against the Portland Trail Blazers. And I was very excited after Saturday night's performance against the Golden State Warriors, considering how the Lakers hadn't even had a lot of practice. You threw a lot of new guys in and you were still missing that of LeBron James, and the Lakers went out and, I won't say dominated, but pretty much controlled that game from start to finish on Golden State. So you would think that the Portland Trail Blazers, being minus a Jeremy Grant, would be right for the picking, and that AD can go out and dominate. They were minus Nurkic, so you would think, okay, it's time for the Lakers to go. But of course, sometimes things happen where teams will catch lightning in the bottle and they'll get so hot that they'll be pretty much damn near unstoppable. And that's what happened with the Portland Trail Blazers the other night. And it really wasn't anything that the Lakers could do about it. I mean, Damian Lillard was just out of this world incredible when he catches fire like that. I mean, you saw where he was hitting from, damn near half court, just pulling up when he wanted to, no matter who was on him, whether, Austin Reeves was assigned to him, whether or not, he got in the switch and, he had D'Angelo Russell or Schroeder, whoever it was, just simply could not contain him. And I know a lot of people are probably thinking, well, if we had Pat Bev, well, if was a fifth, we all be drunk. Pat Bev is not here. We haven't got to see Mo Bamba play yet because of the suspension. So we're not going to just judge or grade that trade just yet because, I mean, really, I got love for Pat Bev, but at the end of the day, I don't think the Lakers are going to tremendously miss him just because of what they got in return, which I think was a damn good trade. And I'm anxious. Yes, I'm very anxious to see how these new players will adapt with none other than LeBron James on tonight, because one thing for sure and one damn thing for certain is LeBron James makes the life of other teammates around him a lot easier when he is on the court with them. So I'm very interested in seeing that dynamic between D'Angelo Russell and that of LeBron James. I think it's going to be a good lineup, but at the end of the day, I'm curious as to Ham. He says he's going to continue to keep Dennis Schroeder and D'Angelo Russell as the starters in the backcourt. I would imagine Troy Brown would come out and it will be LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Rui. But at the end of the day, I'm still not sure. I'm not necessarily against that lineup, but I would prefer for Dennis Schroeder to come off the bench because that way you don't have three ball handlers at one time in the game. You don't need D'Angelo Russell, LeBron James, and Dennis Schroeder at the game at one time. Let Dennis Schroeder come and give you that boost off the bench that you need, like Russell Westbrook was doing. And you're paying him minimum salary right now anyway, so you will be getting the bang for your buck and bringing him off the bench. And I know Darvin Ham has had some history with Schroeder going back to his coaching days in Atlanta, but get the personal stuff out of the way. Let him come off of the bench, because if he's not coming off the bench, then who's coming off the bench for your point guard role? Austin Reeves should get that spot, or that of Malik Beasley. And I want to get on a little bit of that the other night. Malik Beasley, who caught fire at the end of the game, hit 6 out of 12 threes. When the Portland Trail Blazers caught fire like that and were hitting all those threes, I'm wondering, the Lakers continued to shoot twos and doing what they had to do. And, AD was, getting to the paint or whatnot. But I was wondering at what point, as the Lakers continued to miss threes, some of them even wide open threes due to a lack of defense, was he going to put in, let's say, a Christie or a Malik Beasley? Malik Beasley, who's in the top, 10 in three-point makes this year. And speaking of three-point makes, look at Matisse Thybulle, set up there and made 4 out of 6 in three-pointers for the Portland Trail Blazers before he had even got to the Trail Blazers, hitting 4 on his first game with them. He had only hit 21 all year long. So 4 threes in one night is something that you're not often going to see. It was just that the Blazers caught fire, and it is what it is. And of course, team's going to get up for the Lakers. So the Lakers got the 4th toughest schedule left. I know I've been saying stay positive, stay positive. If LeBron James hadn't missed these last few games, I would be a little bit more positive. I'm, for one, will tell you it is going to be tough to develop chemistry with only a few games left. Hopefully during the All-Star break, some of these players, even though it's dedicated to them and they can have their time off, maybe they'll get in a couple of days early, get some practice in together, start getting some reps and developing some of that chemistry, because that's what's hurt the Lakers in the beginning. Starting off, they didn't have the chemistry and they were trying to develop it. But of course, you had Russell Westbrook, who wasn't playing very well at the beginning of the season like he was playing, towards the midway point through the season. So the Lakers will have their work cut out for them. However, I feel like that they can still easily make the playoffs, only because they're only 2.5 games out of the 10th spot to get into the play-in tournament. And if they got in the play-in tournament, they probably have to beat, let's say, a Golden State and a Minnesota to secure it. But that's something that they're capable of doing as well. But it depends on how good they're going to play, because we haven't had a chance to see them all together. Now, there's rumors floating around. I don't know if there's any substantial evidence of this, because, people will put anything on the internet that the reason why AD is all sad and sulking like that is because he got news that LeBron was trying to get rid of him for KD, AD for KD, which who would blame him? Hell, I'd do the same thing. AD stays injured, but at the end of the day, hopefully that should motivate him, if anything, unless he's just giving up like a little baby, and wants to end the season and maybe force a trade at the end of the year. If so, good riddance. But at the end of the day, I won't just say necessarily good riddance. AD brings a lot to the table. Don't get me wrong. He plays great defense, but he stays injured and he's not consistent the way he needs to be on the offensive end of the floor. Demand the ball on the block. If they come out to double team you, the Lakers now have actual respectable shooters who are capable of shooting three-pointers. And one of them is not named Dennis Schroeder. Every time he shoots, I'm like, is it going to go in or not? He has such streaky games, but yet Darvin Ham continues to trust in him for whatever reason. I don't know. I just feel like that starting lineup spot in that 2 spot should either be Malik Beasley or Austin Reeves. That way you have a true 2-guard who can actually go out and get you the money that you need out there in three-point land and get to the lane and make shots for themselves. And of course, Austin Reeves isn't that bad of a defender that, as far as Wayne and Gabriel, I think he could do good coming off the bench playing in the 4th spot. Everything shows that Wayne and Gabriel should be playing in the 4th spot. His numbers, he's a plus for the season, like a plus 15 for the season. But when he's in center, you put him at a disadvantage. Whereas when he's playing the 4th spot, even coming off the bench, even if you saw him maybe with Vanderbilt, and I wouldn't mind seeing Vanderbilt over Rui in the starting lineup, but either way, they're both, lengthy. They both can shoot 3, and Vanderbilt not really known as a 3-point shooter as much as Hachimura, but at the end of the day, they both have some length and they both can, rebound the basketball to give LeBron some help on the front lines with Anthony Davis. So at the end of the day, it's going to be very interesting to see the New Orleans Pelicans. The Lakers, we know about a week or so ago when they were playing the Pelicans in that very important game before they lost that game to the Pelicans and lost that game to OKC. They were right there where they needed to be. And I think they were right there where they needed to be. But of course, all the trade rumors and everything that was going on, the players' minds just weren't into it. Whatever the drama is, it is what it is, but it's over now. Trade deadline is over, so players have to be professionals and go ahead and do what they need to do to be successful and have some pride in what you're doing, So, at the end of the day, the Lakers gave up those games, but that game against New Orleans, they were ahead all 3 quarters. And then, at the end of that 3rd quarter, we all know the errant pass by Russell Westbrook out of bounds, and it resulted in a 3-point shot. Next thing you know, the Lakers, what should have been an 8-point lead, was like a 3-point lead because they gave up a 3 and a quick 2, just like that on the inbound pass. And then, down the stretch, the Pelicans gained confidence. But now this is a new group of Lakers. It's not even the same team. So the Lakers will have size. They did have Hachimura at the time to help take on some of the defensive assignments of Brandon Ingram, who is playing out of his mind right now, who I wish the Lakers would have kept in the first place, because you could be talking about a dynamic duo of Brandon Ingram and LeBron James. And hell, if they would have got rid of Kuzma and kept him, you could have had him, AD, and LeBron. How big of a front line would that be? And how great would it be, especially the way Brandon Ingram, he's shooting like KD. He's just pulling up over anybody in mid-range. I think he the new DeMar DeRozan, but better because, man, he got so much size. When he pull up, he can just let it fly over anybody's head, and it's very, very hard shot to contest. So, you know, Brandon Ingram is going to be difficult, you know, and Jose is going to be difficult to defend. You know, New Orleans Pelicans, they are a respectable team. Zion Williams is going to be out for a while. So while the Lakers, they need to take advantage of these injuries. Zion being out for a while, Steph Curry being out for a while, Utah pulling out games that they shouldn't be pulling out, but they had the Memphis Grizzlies tonight. Hopefully the Memphis Grizzlies can give Utah their 31st loss, I believe, so they can drop on down there with the Lakers, and the Lakers can start to move up. If they win this game, they can go into the All-Star break on a high note, get some rest, get a mental break, come back next week and get ready to go to work, man. The Lakers need to go, like, I think 17-5 or whatever it is down the stretch, 16-6, whatever it is down the stretch. They're totally capable of doing it. I feel like if they can just get back to 500 basketball, they would be good. That 2-10 start is something that's really hurting them right now, but they have to get better on the defensive end. And what I notice is they don't play really great defense when they are struggling offensively, but when the offensive game is going and flowing, they put a lot more effort, it seems like, onto the defensive end. For whatever reason, they need to keep that defensive tenacity throughout the entire game, and they need to ride AD for that. So I think in this matchup tonight with the Lakers' newly acquired assets against the Pelicans, it's going to be a great matchup. And I think against the Blazers, it would have been a great matchup. Look, the Blazers turned around on the second night of a back-to-back and got smacked by the Wizards last night. They had just shot 45% from three against the Lakers and turned around the next night and shot 29% on the second night of the back-to-back. So, like I said, some teams is going to catch lightning in the bottle. And even like my great-granddaddy, somebody used to say, somebody used to slap some dominoes with back at the cafe back in 1991, used to say, even the sun shine on the dog ass every once in a while. And that's exactly what happened for the Portland Trail Blazers. So I'm going to tell y'all something. I'm going to keep on believing. I'm going to need y'all to keep on believing. And if y'all do, then trust me, positive things will happen. If you think negative, then that's just what it will be. You know, I got a lot of faith in what the Lakers can do. I still haven't given up faith in Darvin Ham, even though these three-guard lineups perplex me. And even though, you know, him wanting to start Dennis Schroeder along with D'Angelo Russell, I don't know if he's not trying to hurt Schroeder feeling for some reason, even though, hell, half the time Russell Westbrook should have been the starter for the Lakers instead of Dennis Schroeder anyway. But at the end of the day, I mean, it is what it is. I can't get inside the head of Darvin Ham, but we shall see. I know Dennis Schroeder seems to be great friends with LeBron James and AD and has a great relationship with them, but he needs to know what his role is. And I think the Lakers would be served better with a Malik Beasley on the floor with a LeBron James starting in that lineup, because you saw how he caught fire the other night. And the more he can play with LeBron, the more open shots he's going to have and the better opportunity he's going to have. And if they could really stretch the floor like that with these shooters, then LeBron James is going to be able to get downhill, get into the paint, be successful, and continue to lead the Lakers into some victory. So let's go for a Lakers victory tonight. I do my best to do a live stream show after the game, so everybody tune in. If I will do it, I will make a post first letting everybody know that I will be starting a live stream. But regardless of that, I will be back tomorrow. I got a pretty tight schedule on tomorrow, but I will do my best to post a video as early as possible to get a recap on what goes on tonight. So just as always, if you haven't done so already, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that share, and you know what it is. Right on to the real, baby. And much love to these haters. I'm out.